Okay, we're going to take a look at some passes. We're starting here after a red flag. Everyone's having to go again, and I had to pull over and let Daniel by. So I've taken off. This guy's parked. We get around him, and this cheeky little bugger here cuts down the inside, takes the lead. I'm like, oh, what? Okay. So they're just parking it all over the place, and here we have. But he's so slow, I hit him. I'm like, oh god, how am I going to get around this guy? And there it is there. So I'm from way back here. This is crazy. This guy must be so slow. But the thinking here is, even though they're tight here and there's not enough room, most drivers are going to open up about here, enough room for you to get under them. So what you try to do is line up your outside right with their inside left on the rear, and you aim to get right here into this situation. Once you're here, you can shoot forward. Now he's turning down, but we have enough speed that we can get to the apex before him. Once we're in this position, we pretty much from about here, we own the turn. He can turn down, he can do whatever he wants. We just go straight, a little bit straighter. And we don't have to be right on the apex for this. We just have to control the turn. So I'm going a little bit deeper to make sure that he doesn't try to run up and get inside here. Alright, let's chase this guy down. Oh, he's way off the apex here, so we're going to get way wide. We're getting ourselves right over here on the wall, so that when he comes through here and parks it on the exit, like he surely will. Now again, as he comes here, as he exits off this apex, he's going to open a gap for us. You see it right there, opening up, and we drive in right underneath him. So as he heads out, we come in under and steal the turn. And a little bit of a jolt. Let's have a look how we handle the next driver. Same sort of thinking. The driver's off the wall a bit. They're probably going to overshoot the apex, and we'll get over wide and see if it happens. I have to watch the guy coming up from behind me. Sometimes they just run down and T-bone you, so I'm hoping they're going to be polite and allow me some entry. Well, it didn't work too well. The guy slid out, parked it on the apex because he's worried about hitting the guy in front of him, which has caused me to hit him. Boom. Okay, I'm screwed. I might have avoided it. I'm not sure what happened here. So I've lost momentum and I've gone wide. Now they're sitting way over here in the middle of the track. Not even the middle. I mean, they're totally going to choke this next turn. So we get nice and wide here. We've got an offset of the carts, not just the gap, but I'm to the right. I'm intending to come down on the inside. Let's see if it works. Sure enough, they've shot wide, and I just drive down the inside and meet the front of my cart meets theirs slightly, but I'm trying not to slam into this guy. And now that I'm in this position, I need to open some room. So I have to drive a little bit more straight, sort of open this gap here. I have to open that up. So I'm going to drive my wheel, this wheel, I'm going to aim sort of get my left wheel into that number 1 plate. Let's see what happens. See how I'm pushing him out, and my left wheel's in that number 1 plate in the middle of him. And I've just sort of opened it up to take control of that turn. Let's see how this last driver goes. Same sort of thinking. I'm hoping that they're going to park it over here. So I've come wide to set up for a run to see if I can get inside, and I a little bit of instability myself, so I've given him a push. I'll have to do it on the next turn. So here I come out wide, and I'm aiming to get a very late apex, and let's see if I can pull it off. And I'm hoping that they, oh my goodness, they're too tight. They're too tight. So I've aborted and I've gone wide. And now I'm going to do the old crossover. No, look, somebody's pushed in on me. Oh dear. Alright. No. I don't have the weight. Okay, so now I'm going to try a pinch down. I leave him over here, nice and tight. I get out wide, and they're so slow, I'm just going to run around them. And so that worked. That's an unusual situation. Usually they'll dive in on you. Okay, let's take a look at some passing here. Back it up a little bit. Okay, this is a pretty unusual situation. We're heading at our usual pace, and this guy's come over and totally parked it on the outside wall, and he's really tight to the apex. So we're going to get over and just see what we can get away with here. We're looking to get into this gap as it opens up, and it looks like we got just enough. He's running very slow. So I just want to say all of this is kind of a gift. The guy kind of gave it to me by running so wide and choking this exit and allowing me to get some momentum so that I could run through and get a run on him under here. But he also stayed right out in the middle of the track and left this gap open on that apex. So it's not a very common thing that you can capitalize on. It's really his mistake. So we're running at 270. Here's a newer looking driver running way wide in the sweeper, sliding around completely mid-track. Actually, it's pretty damn wide. So we're running our usual line, fairly tight. What are we going to do about this person? I don't think we're going to be able to get inside of them. They're sliding around there. Okay, so we go wide. We get over to the right hand side of them, and we're anticipating that they're going to do their usual, what they just did in the last turn, sort of run mid-track and end up over here parked where this guy is. So we come out wide and set up for a nice tight apex, and you can see we're pretty much almost already inside of them. As they've spun out sideways, they're parked, and we're carrying momentum. Problem is we can't do a lot because they have preferred lines, so we have to pull out over here, and we put our cart out over here, and we create this big gap inside. We let them run to the apex, and they're going to run ultra tight, but they're going to open this gap now, and we're going to have a momentum. Well, they slide a bit and park it again, but that lets us just get inside of them here, and now we have preferred line over to the next turn. Now this driver is kind of parking it on the exit and running mid-track. So they sort of parked it and they're dead center, and it's given me a chance here to run down the outside, which is a pretty risky business. Most drivers, if they see you over here on the outside, will spin their head, and their cart will go where their head looks, where their eyes look. But I was able to hold the outside here, so I'm thinking, well, maybe I can run the outside. We'll see what happens. But this driver just sort of trundles along and keeps it super tight. Well, we've got kind of a pinch down situation here, so we come out wide. He's so tight, he should be out where I am, and there's nowhere he can go there except to spin. But he gets on the brakes and does something and just parks it there, and I tap him. But now he's super tight on the right hander, so I do the usual. We come out wide, and we're going to try and get underneath him. Now I'm a little bit close. I didn't create enough of a gap, and I clip the wall here and clip him. But that's where we need to be. We've squeezed in the inside. It was a super tight one. This guy's so slow though. He is super rotating here off the apex. Make sure he's really trying to keep his cart mid-track. These are so hard to get inside of and to pull this off, but he has to open up right there. It's super tight, but he's going to keep rotating, and he gives us enough room. And that's all we need. We have the momentum. I've actually pushed some momentum into him, and he's accelerating, but we've got preferred line to the apex. Okay, here's one of those really tough and annoying drivers that run mid-track or really tight and choke and slide all over the place. So here's a driver driving a pretty tight line, but missing the apex and sliding on the exit and parking it really bad. And so you're forced to check up and try to do things not to hit him. Thought I might have a try to get on the inside there, but it ain't going to work. So we're kind of stuck here. Now again, into the back straight. Oh, they were kind of quick. Alright. So they're running up here in the sweeper. You can see they're full throttle, not modulating at all, and mid-track and sliding on the exit. And they're really light, so they can just race off on the straights. So here again, very tight. Like you want to have your left inside wheel here. So these guys are way tight and leaning in. So their center of gravity is going to be pushing down outwards. So they're going to slide. Here it comes. So they're sliding already. And parking it right there, which is great for me because I'll run around them, but I cannot beat them to this turn. They're going to beat me there, and they're going to go for it. So I get the cart over here on the way wide, create this huge gap, because they're going to be so slow as they get out of this turn, and we turn down. It's a classic crossover, and we aim to get inside right as this cart parks. So you can see it's a big timing thing. Now I've got momentum, he has none, and we basically have him. Take another look. So there's the big slide, and we're going to try and get underneath that. Now one way we can approach this is we can stay to the outside and we can pinch him down the apex and force him. We want him down in this area, but instead, because he's going there anyway, we go and put our left wheel over here. Now we're looking at him, see where he's going to go, and we're trying to time this. Now this guy parks it on the exit, which is normally a deal killer. As soon as they park it there, bam, and if they don't leave enough room in this gap, you're screwed. But this guy keeps rotating his back and opened it up, so we just drive down the inside using our momentum to get a run.